Oi, pessoal. Sou Dr. Cooper.
And I'm Christina.
E hoje vamos falar sobre o verbo look. E vamos dividir esse podcast em duas partes. Na primeira parte, vou falar em português e vou revisar os diferentes significados do verbo básico look. Look at, look for e look like. Porque mesmo que sejam verbos básicos, muitos alunos de todos os níveis confundem. E na segunda parte do podcast, vou falar em inglês. Vou falar sobre alguns phrasal verbs que são muito comuns, muito do dia a dia, mas são para alunos que já têm o básico, que têm um nível intermediário ou acima e querem expandir os seus vocabulários. Look tem diferentes significados. Um significado é olhar. E isso é o mais importante de todos. E como pessoas sabem que assistem meus vídeos, um dos erros mais comuns que pessoas cometem é não sabendo que look é geralmente seguido, quando significa olhar, com a preposição at. Verdade?
Yeah.
Por exemplo, em português, você pode falar, estou olhando para Cristina agora. Querendo dizer, na direção dela, estou olhando para Cristina agora. I'm looking at Christina right now. Em português, vocês também podem falar, estou olhando Cristina agora. Né? Vocês podem colocar preposição ou não. No dia a dia, vocês falam das duas maneiras. E vocês podem falar, estou olhando Cristina ou estou olhando para Cristina agora. Em inglês é difícil porque nós não vamos falar I'm looking Christina, traduzindo pé da letra, não. E não vamos falar I'm looking for Christina, porque isso significa outra coisa. Nós falamos I'm looking at Christina right now. Eu posso falar, Christina estava olhando uma aranha assustadora. Christina was looking at a scary spider. Não é difícil, lembra, em inglês nós falamos para olhar, look, depois at e depois a coisa que estamos olhando. Looking at the spider, looking at Christina. Vamos continuar porque isso é básico. Né? O próximo verbo que é muito importante para look, ou significado, é procurar, look for. É tão importante, tem tantas pessoas que querem usar search para isso. E quando eles perguntam, mas qual é a diferença entre search e look for? O search é uma busca mais difícil. Né? Por exemplo, vamos supor que uma pessoa é desaparecida. Né? A pessoa sumiu. A cidade inteira está procurando aquela pessoa. Well, isso é uma procura grande, né? Isso é uma busca grande. Você fala, they're searching for the missing person. Mas, em geral, por exemplo, eu falo, estou procurando minhas chaves perdidas. Eu não vou falar, I'm searching for my lost keys, ao menos que está ficando muito difícil achar. No começo, se eu estou procurando, eu espero que eu vou achar. Eu vou falar, I'm looking for my lost keys.
You're always looking for your keys and your glasses.
Mas como eu não vou procurar meus óculos, né? Porque sem meus óculos eu fico cego. So, claro, eu sempre estou procurando meus óculos. Of course, I'm always looking for my glasses because without my glasses, I'm blind. So, look for é procurar e é difícil porque pessoas pensam look for, olhar para. Não, olhar para is look at. Look for é procurar. What are you looking for, Christina?
I'm not looking for a new husband, that's for sure.
Well, that's good. That's good. Really? Você não está procurando novo esposo. She's not looking for a new husband. Ok. Agora vamos falar mais duas coisas sobre look, o verbo básico look. So, look também, se falamos olhar, mas falamos olhar nos olhos de alguém. É igual ao português. Vocês falam olhar nos olhos. E we say look in or look into somebody's eyes. So, right now, agora mesmo, I'm looking into Christina's eyes.
And I'm looking into Cooper's eyes.
Wow.
And they're very nice and green.
Green?
Green and blue.
Green and blue? She was looking into my eyes. Eu fiquei, fiquei feliz. Ela estava olhando meus olhos. She was looking into my eyes. Or she was looking in my eyes. Também com o espelho, geralmente falamos look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Mirror. Fala.
Mirror.
Como você fala?
Mirror.
Mirror. Mirror. Espelho.
Cooper is always looking in the mirror.
O jeito mais comum para olhar ao espelho is look in the mirror. Look também, eu tenho que falar, look também significa parecer às vezes. Não vamos falar muito sobre parecer agora, mas se estamos falando sobre parecer no sentido de uma coisa parece, tem a aparência, e parece por causa da aparência física, we say look, ou dependendo da frase, look like. Como eu falei, vamos fazer um podcast sobre parecer no futuro para explicar isso mais. Mas, por exemplo, se você parece outra pessoa fisicamente, nós falamos you look like. Pessoas falam para mim, Dr. Cooper, you look like Tiago Leifert.
Who is this person?
He's a TV presenter, uma apresentadora da televisão no Brasil.
Oh.
I don't look like him. Eu não pareço ele. Eu já mostrei as fotos, porque eu falei, eu pareço ele? Do I look like him? And you said, no, you don't look like him. Como sempre acontece.
Right, okay.
Como nós sabemos, vários brasileiros pensam que eu pareço qualquer celebridade branca que eles sabem. Não qualquer, né? Os que não são muito bonitos, né? Se eles são muito bonitos, eu não pareço eles. If they're very handsome, I don't look like them. Se eles são mais ou menos, if they're okay, se eles são talvez bonitinhos, they say, Dr. Cooper, you look like fulano. And I say to Christina, you look like Penelope Cruz, the actress.
I don't look like Penelope Cruz.
Yes,
no.
you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Anyway,
vamos agora para alguns phrasal verbs, que isso é o motivo para fazer esse vídeo mesmo. E agora eu vou mudar para inglês. I'm going to speak in English because these phrasal verbs are more advanced. Eu quero falar para vocês que são mais iniciantes agora, essa parte, se você é iniciante, não se preocupe muito com essa parte, porque esses phrasal verbs são mais adiantados, são mais específicos. E por isso eu estou falando em inglês, porque a audiência para essa parte é uma audiência que já é intermediário ou mais. Estamos falando sobre phrasal verbs que não são comuns, são muito comuns, mas não são tão importantes esses phrasal verbs quanto coisas mais básicas. Okay, first, look up to. So, look up to, remember, we're talking about phrasal verbs. So this isn't a soma das partes. Não é look mais up mais to. Look up to é um phrasal verb que tem outro significado, que significa admirar e respeitar e geralmente tentar emular ou imitar aquela pessoa que é mais velha do que você. That's look up to. So, for example, many people look up to their father or mother.
yeah, I look up to my dad.
Why you don't look up to your mom?
Yeah, I look up to my mom too.
She's
I look up to my parents.
You look up to your parents. I look up to a friend of mine. I won't say his name, but I remember he was very successful because he worked hard. And I was always lazy. And I looked up to him because he worked hard and he was talented, he worked hard, and he was successful. And I looked up to him. I admired him. I respected him. He was older than me. And I really did try to imitate him, and especially the way his work and how hard he worked. So look up to is a great word, and I'm just going to ask the audience, who do you look up to? Remember, who do you admire and respect and try to be like? Who? Okay, next phrasal verb, and this is one of the most important, I think, is look into. I think look into is a very, very important phrasal verb. We see it all the time in television shows. Again, I'm only speaking in English here because look into is a phrasal verb that I only want my students who are more advanced to pay attention to. If you're less advanced, remember there's an order to what you learn. You don't want to learn very specific phrases before you know more general phrases. Otherwise, you'll get confused. So look into is a very good phrasal verb, but it's specific and it's for people who have fairly high levels. If you look into something, you try to find out all the facts of something to learn about it. You investigate it. You research it. For example, we are looking into buying a dog. So if we look into buying a dog, that means we're going to look for a lot of different facts. We're not going to go just to one place. If we're looking into it, we're investigating. So we talk to different owners of dogs. We go to look at the dogs. We look on the internet about the different breeds. A breed is a raça de cachorro. The different breeds of dogs, and we collect all these facts. And it takes time to look into something. It's an investigation that takes time. Sometimes people ask me about things here in England, like they say, "Could you tell me about scholarships, bolsas de estudos?" at Oxford University. And to be honest, I don't know much, but sometimes I say, I'll look into it. We say this word, I'll look into it a lot, referindo o que a pessoa acabou de falar. Eu vou investigar isso que você acabou de falar. I'll look into it. Muito comum. If I do look into it, isso mostra que eu vou passar tempo olhando para diferentes fontes de informação, falando com diferentes pessoas, colhendo diferentes fatos para aprender sobre scholarships, right? So I can say, I'm going to look into it for you. Eu vou investigar isso e pesquisar isso for you. Can you think of any examples with look into?
I think when you are at work and your boss is asking you to do something that requires a lot of information, and you have to ask other employees or look at a lot of reports and gather a lot of information, and then you can say to your boss, I'll look into it.
Yeah, so your boss wants you to do a project. That project would take some time. You need to find out a lot of information about that. So you go to different sources, you talk to different people, you call up different people on the phone, you send emails to different people, you look on the internet, and then you can make a big report about whatever your boss asked you to do.
Exactly.
So you look into that whole idea. Let's say you want to start a business. And to start that business, you need to know a lot of information. So you look into a lot of things. You have to really look into it before you start the business. The next one is also a very important phrasal verb. Look out for. I'm going to give an example. When I think of look out for, I think of when I was a kid. So when I was a kid, my brother was twice my size. Duas vezes meu tamanho. And when we went to school, my father said to my brother, look out for him. Basically, when somebody looks out for somebody else, they're making sure that person doesn't get into trouble. That person doesn't face danger. They're protecting them in the sense they're keeping them from getting into trouble. So if my brother looked out for me, he made sure that I talked to the right people, that I didn't talk to the wrong people, that if people were bothering me, he protected me from them. He introduced me to the right people. All of that is look out for. That means protect somebody and help them avoid any trouble. Anything else? You look out for your sister, don't you?
Yeah, I make sure that nobody hurts her, like
a bad man, a bad boyfriend.
Yeah. Or bad boyfriend,
bad boss.
a bad boss.
Look out for also could be if you're protecting yourself. So, for example, let's say that you're going for a walk in the Amazon, Christina.
Ooh,
and what are you going to
scary.
look out for?
I'm gonna look out for panthers. I don't know.
For panthers. She's going to look out for panthers. That's good. There are panthers in Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or crocodiles.
Crocodiles. Okay. The panthers, the osas. We call them osas.
Right. Okay.
You call them jaguars, panthers. These are very dangerous. So you're going to look out for them, meaning you're going to be ready, being aware of that danger, basically. Okay. Now remember, so we've talked about look out for, we've talked about look into, we've talked about look up to. Remember, if you really want to understand these phrasal verbs, don't worry. If you watch TV regularly, if you talk to native speakers regularly, you're going to notice these. So the practice I would say, practice these by yourself, trying to remember the meanings, and then really try to notice when native speakers say these, and you'll feel more and more comfortable with them. The last one I want to talk about is look up. I'm not talking about look up meaning olhar para cima, because that's not a phrasal verb. That's just literal, olhar, look up. I'm not talking about olhar para cima. I'm talking about look up. Muitas pessoas não sabem isso. Muitas pessoas. Pois, quando você está procurando só pedaço de informação no computador, num livro de referência, okay, you look up. For example, and every time you need to know a word and you go to a dictionary, you look up that word. A lot of people say, I'm going to search that word online. We don't say that. We say, I'm going to look up that word. Oh, I looked up that word on Google Translate. I looked up that word in my dictionary. Let's say that you hear about a person. You want to know more about that person. Maybe you hear about Dr. Cooper and you want to know about me. So you put my name on Google and you look me up. You look up my background. Okay, you're looking for a specific fact on the computer, which is obviously the internet is a reference source, and you look me up. Very few people know that look up means that. It's what we always say. We always say look up a word.
Look up a word, look up a meaning of a word, or look up someone to find out more about this person online.
But let's make it before we leave, because people are going to say, well, isn't that look into? And the biggest difference is look into is gathering a lot of facts to find out about a subject that you really need to go to many different sources and find many different facts. You're investigating. Look up is just looking for one fact that you can find. That's why it's so good for a word in a dictionary. Então, nesse podcast, falamos sobre alguns phrasal verbs com look, que são muito comuns, eu acho muito importantes. Mas eu falei em inglês, porque eu acho que esses phrasal verbs com look, esses que eu falei hoje, aconteceu que todos esses phrasal verbs são comuns e importantes, mas eles são específicos o suficiente que não ensinaria para alunos que têm níveis básicos, right? They're very important once you get to be intermediate, and it takes time. Be patient. Look at these words. Notice when native speakers say these words, and soon you'll be familiar with them. Look out for, look into, look up to, and look up. Ok, pessoal? Foi prazer.
Bye, everyone!
Bye, guys! Oi, pessoal! Você gostou desse vídeo? Então você também vai gostar desse outro vídeo que eu gravei. E lembre-se de deixar sua curtida e se inscrever no meu canal para receber uma notificação sempre que eu publicar um vídeo novo. Tchau, pessoal!